What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. Okay, well, so we just got this major announcement, and if you caught my last video, it was going through a lot of the reward changes that will be coming up. And this video, I don't want to talk about this reward changes. I actually want to talk about SPS because this whole replacing DEC rewards with SPS has got my head spinning. And I have to say that there's a couple of things that would need to be confirmed. But if so, and if we can get that confirmation either in the town hall tomorrow or within the next couple of weeks, it's going to make me a very happy SPS holder. I don't want to say that I'm super bullish yet, but you guys know me. I've always been long-term bullish on SPS. I hold a sizable bag. It's my biggest investment in the game. And the way that I'm looking at this now, so quick refresher for those who might have missed the previous video or who have missed this post entirely by the team, but DEC rewards are essentially going away in any and all forms and are going to be replaced by SPS. So SPS is going to be given out in ranked battle wins as well as focus and season reward chests. So there will be no more DEC hitting the market. Now, what is the demand like for DEC? Right now, I don't think the demand is necessarily very high outside of the airdrop. Sure, you can go in and buy packs for significantly cheaper, and that will always kind of exist there. But in the future, demand is going to kind of be just for transacting in the game. Now, what makes this interesting is something that Yabamat has mentioned several times on the town halls, and that is the Terra Luna kind of model. And before anybody freaks out, the Terra Luna model had one fatal flaw, and that was the idea that burning tokens can go both ways. Whereas what Yabamat wants to do is allow the burning of SPS tokens to mint you 1,000 DEC. So if you burn $1 worth of SPS tokens, you get 1,000 DEC tokens. And so right now, I mean, at about 5 cents per SPS token, you'd have to burn like 20 SPS tokens in order to get 1,000 DEC. So here is the thing. With DEC essentially becoming a limited token, right? Like a finite token. It's no longer being printed to infinity the way that it was before. This is a huge change in the tokenomics for DEC. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some things that end up popping up, like some downstream effects that we haven't even like begun to wrap our heads around. But going back to SPS and the ability to burn SPS for DEC, I'd be really happy with that if we can get it, and if we get it sooner rather than later. Now, hear me out. You know me, if you've been following this channel, you know that I have been shouting from the mountaintops that we need some kind of SPS utility within the game, whether that's staking it for ranked rewards or whatever the case is. And I do believe that we still need something, right? I think that staking SPS should get you some kind of reward, more than just vouchers and more than just, getting into tournaments or whatever the case is. And I believe that's coming. But I actually don't think it's as necessary, and at least not in kind of the severity that I was thinking of before. I don't think it's as necessary because if SPS in the long run, even in the medium to long run, can serve two vital functions, right? The first of which is going to be what it's designed for as a governance token to make decisions for voting and all of that. But the second, if it becomes kind of the fountain for DEC in the future, as demand for DEC grows with a growing player base, and the only way to get that DEC is by burning SPS, that's going to be really interesting. Now, here's the thing. There's a ton of SPS out there in the market, right? And there's a ton more SPS still to come in the long run. But burning SPS, to me, as a token that has a 3 billion cap, and we've already burned maybe 20, 30 million so far with the nodes, having it so that it becomes increasingly more scarce every single day as more gets burned, either through nodes or in the future with this DEC conversion, right? So burning $1 worth of SPS, that could push the price of SPS up if it creates demand. Because now, how do you get DEC? Well, you can go and you can buy it on the market, or if the price of DEC actually shoots above its peg, right? And this is where the arbitrage comes in. Now, all of a sudden, if there's demand for DEC and people are buying it up off of the marketplace, increasing the price, if there's demand for DEC, then what ends up happening is it might be cheaper to go in and buy $1 worth of SPS and burn that for 1,000 DEC, because 1,000 DEC might cost you $1.50 on the marketplace. You get what I'm saying here? So as we kind of move forward with this, we're going to have an SPS sync for Rift Watchers, where that'll be going through to the DAO. We will have SPS, what's that called? Or I'm sorry, node sales, which will be burning a portion of SPS. And if we can get this type of SPS burn, right, this $1 of SPS for 1,000 DEC, again, I don't think it's going to happen quickly, because there's still a crap ton of SPS in the marketplace and still to come. I think we've only distributed about 800 million out of the total 3 billion. But there could be some interesting upward pressure on SPS just simply due to arbitrage on getting DEC. And that could push DEC's price down. You get what I'm saying here? How many people, I shouldn't even say how many people, because I would do it. Let's say DEC shoots up above peg, right? Because people are buying it in order to get their, cheap cards or whatever the case is. I'm sorry, not cheap cards, but cheap packs, Chaos Legion packs, while those are still available. So that could, with the finite number of DEC, push DEC back up to its peg. But if for any reason there is demand for DEC because people need to rent cards and they don't want to use credits or whatever the case is, and anytime it goes above, and I think 1.5, I think 50% above its peg is probably too high, but even just going slightly above its peg, right? Let's say it goes to 0.0011. If it goes 10% above its peg, well, hey, you buy $1 worth of SPS and you convert it to DEC, sell it on the market. That's where that arbitrage stands, and that was the beauty of Terra Luna, at least from an algorithmic stablecoin standpoint, because that arbitrage is going to exist there. Anytime DEC goes above its peg, I'm going to run in, and I'm not going to be fast enough. I'm sure there are going to be bots that'll do this, but anytime I see DEC go like 5%, 10% above its peg, I will look at that and say, oh, hey, well, I can easily get a quick 5-10% return if I just buy X amount of SPS, burn it for DEC, and then sell that DEC on the market, which will get the market price back down to the peg price, right, of 0.001. So the interesting thing now is that I mentioned the peg, and I know they wanted to be a stable coin, but there's actually no mechanics on the printing of it that will create, that will kind of like keep that peg in the long run. On the upside, there is the idea that you can burn SPS. On the downside, though, now you don't get this flip side. The fatal flaw that happened with Terra Luna was being able to burn, the token back to the other one. So instead of burning Luna for UST, you could also burn or redeem UST back for Luna at whatever rate. Well, now you're not going to have that. That's the fatal flaw that they're trying to correct on. But you are going to have DEC backed by the products that they make. So right now it's the Chaos Legion packs. I don't know that the Chaos Legion packs and buying them for, cheaper is enough to push the price back up. Maybe we never see that arbitrage for SPS, at least not for a very long time. But still, the idea of being able to burn SPS for DEC is interesting to me, because I would assume that if they are trying to create this and have DEC be somewhat of a stable coin around that, $1 to 1,000 DEC peg, then they are going to find some other opportunities in the long run, or they believe that the increasing player base will create an increased demand for DEC, where people will come in and want to use DEC for whatever. And let's not even get into land, because if land is going to require some DEC for burning, land for upgrading buildings and then burning that DEC, or guilds. They're pushing guilds in this as well. So guilds burn DEC. Guys, there is a finite number of DEC now, and if the only way that we get DEC in the future is burning SPS, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is enough bullishness for me right now, guys. Achoo. I'm a little allergic to all of this hopium. I can't talk about it anymore because I want to make sure that I'm not getting ahead of myself here, and we're not talking about things that will never come to pass. But that based on what we've heard in the past, if that does get implemented, I hope the tokenomics and what the new tokenomics essentially of this will be kind of give you a little outlook on at least how I'm viewing this and why I'm starting to get really bullish on both DEC and SPS. I mean, full disclosure, because of this, I actually went on the marketplace and bought some DEC. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with it. All I know is that DEC has somehow at this point become somewhat of a finite resource, and I want to have some. I just want to have some there. One, because if it does go back to its peg, that could jump from 0.0006 up to whatever, and that would be a nice 50% gain on whatever I'm holding. But if it doesn't, I could always go back and buy packs for however much I bought in. But in the medium term, I can just hold it for the next, I don't know, what is it, 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 2 days or whatever, until the end of the airdrop. I'll get some airdrop points for that, and I'll see how things go. Now, I'm not telling you to buy DEC. This is not financial advice. This is not even game advice. This is not even financial advice. I'm just literally telling you what I did and why I'm doing it. That's all. This is not meant to be, go out and ape into whatever, because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I have no idea what's going to happen, but with the outcomes that I've seen, I'm happy with it, right? Like, don't go into this and like, if you don't want packs, you shouldn't be buying DEC, because the worst case scenario is you're going to end up having to buy packs for whatever you put in. But at this point in time, I don't mind that if that's the worst case scenario, because the upside to me seems interesting. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below about how you're viewing the tokenomics moving forward. Maybe there's something that I missed. Maybe there's something that I'm not looking at the right way. But like I said, guys, I'm pumped, and I cannot wait until the town hall to hear more about this. So have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.